Can you hear your own blood flowing? In a room with no sound, even your breathing is louder than a whisper. But that's just the beginning. From silence that drives you insane to vanished villages and bridges built by the devil himself, are you ready to uncover the hidden side of our world?
The quietest room in the world. Upon entering this room, you may go insane within just 15 minutes. In 2015, Microsoft built the quietest room in the world in Redmond, where their main office is located. To push acoustic capabilities to the limit, they constructed the walls from isolated steel and concrete. Yet, that wasn't enough for absolute silence.
Acoustic insulation on the edge of possibility. The walls were additionally fitted with wedge-shaped fiberglass panels that diffuse sound waves before they can reflect. Even the air conditioner was sealed into a concrete wall to avoid acoustic interference. Thanks to this elaborate design, the room absorbs 99.99% of all sound.
What it's like to hear your own body. If a formation of jet planes flies overhead, you won't hear even an echo of the roar. The noise level inside the research chamber is negative 20.6 decibels. Making it any quieter is impossible. This is the level of sound produced by moving molecules. For comparison, rustling leaves, 40 decibels. A whisper, 25 decibels. Even breathing, around 10 decibels. The absence of sound is an alarm signal for the brain.
Psychological pressure of total silence. Most visitors can't stay in the room even for a few seconds. At first, the silence rings in the ears. Then a crushing sense of isolation sets in. But that's not all. There's no echo. Sounds don't reflect. You can scream, but all you'll hear is silence. It feels like screaming into a pillow.
A person without echo and light. At that point, your body becomes sound. You can hear blood flow in arteries, joints creak, lungs working. We don't notice it normally, but echo helps us navigate space. If you turn off the light too, a person can't even stand. The brain tries to cope and starts making up sounds. Almost everyone begins to hallucinate.
Absolute record, 45 minutes. It's impossible for a person to stay here longer than 15 minutes. Only one case recorded a visitor lasting 45 minutes, and it wasn't the room's creator who escaped after 30 minutes. The room wasn't built as an attraction. Use in astronaut training. NASA uses the room to prepare astronauts for flights since the noise level in space is significantly lower than on Earth. Many companies bring products there to test their noiselessness.
Why the waters of the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans don't mix. It's said that Jacques-Yves Cousteau popularized this phenomenon after being amazed by how the waters of two oceans appeared divided by an invisible wall. Where the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans meet, it looks like waves crash against a glass barrier. The border is visible to the naked eye, and tour boats often pass along it. The waters differ in color and density, dark blue on one side, greenish on the other. The currents move in opposite directions, creating the illusion of colliding but unmixed waves.
The Halocline phenomenon. So why don't the waters blend into one mass? One would expect a wide mixed color band. The reason is the Halocline, a phenomenon caused by differences in water composition, primarily salinity. The Atlantic is considered the saltiest ocean, while the Pacific has lower salinity. Temperature plays a role as well. The Atlantic is warmer. Lastly, surface tension of water prevents mixing. These differences create a distinct border between the oceans.
Halocline in other parts of the world. The border between the Pacific and Atlantic isn't the only place where a halocline occurs. In Denmark's Skagerrak, the dark waters of the North Sea meet the turquoise waters of the Baltic. The waves appear to hit an invisible wall. In Russia, this can be seen at the confluence of the White and Barents Seas and at the merging of some rivers. It's a unique and mystical sight, yet it's explained by physics.
The mystery of Mel's Hole. In 1997, a man named Mel Waters called a popular American paranormal radio show. He spoke of a strange hole on his property near Ellensburg, Washington. According to him, the hole was lined with bricks and much wider than a typical well. Mel lowered a weighted fishing line into it, and it kept going deeper, up to 15 miles, without hitting bottom. Rumors of resurrection and strange sounds. One day, Mel's neighbor threw the body of his dead dog into the hole, only to find it alive days later, wearing the same collar and with the same markings. Mel also claimed to hear outdated music and strange voices coming from the pit. He refused to disclose the exact location, mentioning only the nearby Manastash Ridge. Mysterious disappearance. From 1997 to 2002, Mel continued calling the show with new details. But in 2002, he vanished. A newspaper investigation found no record of anyone by his name in the area. Before disappearing, Mel claimed government agents bought his land and asked him to relocate.
Shaman Red Elk and experiments. In 2008, a shaman named Red Elk claimed to have seen the hole. He conducted experiments, lowering a basket of ice and a cage with a sheep. The ice came back hot but unmelted. The sheep was dead, with a strange seal-like creature inside its intestines. The tale became even stranger than Mel's original story.
Devil's Bridge, Rakotzbrücke. This bridge in Germany is called the Devil's Bridge. It's so unusual that many believe it couldn't have been built by humans. According to legend, the devil helped build it in exchange for the soul of the first to cross. But the builders tricked him by making an animal go first. In another version, a builder sacrifices himself to save others.
Magic and restrictions. It's believed that swimming under the bridge during a full moon can grant magical powers. Some say you can see the devil's face in the reflection. Others believe the bridge is a portal to another world. But testing these theories is hard. The bridge is closed to the public and guarded.
The mysterious Teotihuacan. Teotihuacan, meaning the place where the gods were created in Nahuatl, has long remained a mystery. Even the Aztecs, who found it centuries after it was abandoned, believed it was built by gods. The city is located in the central highlands of Mexico and is estimated to have been built in the 2nd century BCE. An architectural and religious wonder. At its peak, the city had over 125,000 residents and covered about 36 square kilometers. Teotihuacan was not just an economic hub, but also a religious one. Its main structures include the Pyramid of the Sun, the Pyramid of the Moon, and the Avenue of the Dead. According to UNESCO, these account for only 10% of the entire city. Inside the pyramids, tunnels were found, likely used for rituals. Disappearance and mysteries. Around 650 CE, the city began to decline rapidly. Within a century, it was abandoned. The reasons remain unknown. Only in the late 20th century did Mexico begin serious studies. As of 2025, only 5% of the site has been excavated. Teotihuacan still holds many secrets.
The terrifying tale of Houska Castle.
Houska Castle in the Czech Republic was built in the 11th century near Prague. It's surrounded by terrifying legends. It was supposedly built not to defend against enemies, but to seal a gateway to hell. Beneath the castle lies a deep fissure from which demonic creatures were said to emerge. Condemned prisoners were offered amnesty if they descended into the pit and reported back. One volunteer asked to be pulled up after just a minute. His hair turned white, and he aged decades instantly.
Architectural oddities and occultism. Legend says the original castle had no stairs to the courtyard, few windows, and inward-facing fortifications. The king ordered the fissure sealed with stone and built a chapel above it, dedicated to Archangel Michael. In 1639, a mercenary practicing black magic took over the castle. Locals killed him out of fear. In the 20th century, the castle was acquired by Josef Szymanek, and during WW2, it was occupied by Nazis intrigued by the occult.
Modern mysteries of the castle. Today, the castle is open to visitors. Many report strange sounds in the chapel, illogical architecture, and disturbing frescoes. It's believed that beneath the chapel floor still lies the entrance to the hellish fissure.
Mother Shipton's cave is in the British town of Knaresborough. There is a unique place, Mother Shipton's cave. A mineral waterfall flows down its walls, turning objects into stone. Shipton was born here in 1488, became a well-known prophetess, and predicted, among other things, the Great Fire of London. Even during her life, the cave's water was considered healing. Later, people noticed that objects left under the waterfall turned to stone.
Turning to stone. Miracle or chemistry? Since 1630, the cave has been one of the UK's first paid attractions. Inside, visitors can see various items, from top hats to teddy bears, that turn to stone after months under the water. Today, it's known that this isn't magic, but the high mineral content in the water. An object left under the waterfall develops a stone shell within 2 months. This phenomenon is even used to create souvenirs.
The Hawkesbury River Monster. In Australia, at the mouth of the Hawkesbury River, eyewitnesses report a giant aquatic creature resembling a plesiosaur. Reports date back to the 1960s, though Aboriginal legends describe a similar being. The creature is said to be up to 24 meters long. However, no confirmed photos or videos have ever been found. Potential sensation without evidence. If the monster were real, it would be a worldwide sensation. But after decades, no one has been able to film it. Scientists and cryptozoologists debate whether such a large animal could remain hidden in such a populated region. For now, the monster remains part of local folklore, much like the Loch Ness Monster.
The mystery of Lake Anjikuni. In November 1930, a hunter named Joe LaBelle reported a strange discovery to a local newspaper near Lake Anjikuni in Canada. He often visited the area and the Inuit village on the shore. But one day, upon arriving, he found the entire village abandoned. There were no people, no smoke from dwellings, no smell of food, only starving dogs, rusty weapons, and empty shelters.
Inexplicable disappearance. He said it seemed as if people vanished suddenly. Clothes and rifles were left behind, and graves were disturbed. He walked another 10 miles to the nearest town and notified the police. Authorities investigated, but found no signs of struggle or bodies. Weeks later, the story faded,
But in 1966, it resurfaced thanks to a book by a Canadian author.
A story without answers. More than 37 years passed before researchers returned to the lake. By then, no traces of the village remained, not even the cemetery. Documents, reports, and newspaper articles never clarified what happened. The mystery of the vanished Inuit village remains unsolved.
The 1984 Manchac Swamp Sweep. The Manchac Swamp in Louisiana has long been considered a place haunted by evil spirits. Local Native Americans believed beings with superhuman power dwelled there. In 1984, residents of 3 villages began reporting a strange creature approaching homes at night, terrifying animals and people.
Operation and the creature's escape. Following numerous complaints, the police launched a special operation. The creature moved on all 4s, had no clothing or hair, and leapt nimbly through trees and into water. Despite surrounding it with SWAT teams and helicopters, it escaped into a burrow. The island it hid on was later mined and blown up.
Aftermath and debate. After the operation, a police cordon was set up around the swamps. In 1996, the creature allegedly reappeared once more. To this day, experts debate whether it was an animal, a human, or something else entirely. For Native Americans, Manchac remains a place of evil. For researchers, it's one of the most mysterious anomalous zones in the U.S.
Each of these stories is just a fragment of the vast puzzle of mysteries we're only beginning to understand. If you enjoyed this journey along the edge of reality and legend, subscribe so you don't miss the next episodes. And in the comments, let us know, which of these do you truly believe?